Welcome to halftime here on this Friday night, a semi-final game live from KSS, and we have two members of the organizing committee, the co-directors of the Interior Savings Western Canada Basketball Tournament, Don Walker and Dave Reynolds. And Don, you've been around this tournament for a while now. How have you seen it grow?
I started 22 years ago. We were at the old school. We had two gyms. I mean, I heard stories from back in the 70s and 80s when we were in a very tiny little gym. I only knew it at what we called the new gym at the old KSS. And I've watched it to now where we're looking at 2,000 people potentially each night.
Dave Reynolds, you're relatively new, only 7 or 8 years under your belt compared to 22. When the teams come here, what are you looking for as far as invites? How does the team get involved and get invited?
Oftentimes what will happen is our grade 10 coaches will put feelers out and will sort of look who is going to be talented coming up in the next couple of years. Certainly in BC, that's how it works. Other than that, we do a lot of talking. Don does a lot of talking with the Prairie teams and the Alberta teams that come here every year and sort of pick their brains as to who is going to be good next year, who is going to be good the year after that. And then we just sort of weigh our options and go from there and send out some invites.
It's certainly a prestigious tournament now. It's been around 39 years. Are there teams banging down your door to say, I want to be involved, I want to get in there?
They'll oftentimes we'll get a lot of calls. I mean, we have been turned down in the past, but there are certain teams that really and truly, strong programs like Kitsalanos, strong programs like White Rock Christians that come back repeatedly and enjoy doing so, because it's a great preparation for provincial playdowns and competitive games that happen further on in February.
Don, we see 3 Prairie teams here this year. You've seen Prairie teams all across Western Canada, which is nice. And Dave mentioned that you kind of put feelers out. But take us through the process of inviting a Prairie team from, say, Manitoba or Saskatchewan?
The process starts, like Dave was saying, we go back, we phone some of the coaches who've been here before and say, okay, remember the level of caliber that you needed when you came here and how you did. Who do you think, who's got strong grade 11s that you think could compete next year? And we compile a list from each coach, and then we sort of cross-reference the coach's recommendations, and then we go through the process of sending out, a formal invite. Because there's a lot of expense in trying to come here from, a Winnipeg or something like that. So it's a big commitment from a team, but teams that think they maybe are vying for a provincial championship in their own province will make that, big journey out here to Kelowna.
How do you keep the tournament fresh? Because it's been 39 years. You have the dunk contest, you have the three-point contest as well. But how do you keep it fresh? How do you keep people coming back?
I think that just comes because it is such a high level of basketball that is played. We hate saying it, but in the case where we don't see the Owls in the premier time slot, the place is still very full. I mean, we lose a lot of our black and gold colored students, that are on the baseline, as we call them, the crazy Owls. But there's a lot of basketball enthusiasts who just come back year after year and just enjoy a weekend of really high caliber basketball.
Dave, you played out east in your prime. Can you see the skill level, the difference between when you were in high school and playing at a high level compared to now?
Yeah, I mean, high school, we'd have come out here and gotten beaten pretty badly, I think. And I played on a provincial winning team. The skill level is pretty good. It is very good. The kids are big. The kids are fast. The kids can jump high, and they're smart. They're well coached. Yeah. There isn't going to be a team here this weekend that isn't able not only to be talented physically, but also to use their heads. So a lot of great basketball players here in the West for sure.
KSS, the number 1 team in BC, good chance to win provincials. They got a good chance at this tournament because there are teams that maybe you don't know too much about. A Calgary team, Edmonton team, a Regina team. Does KSF have a real good chance, a legitimate chance of winning this thing?
I believe so. Historically, the top teams at this tournament do come out of BC, even though we'll bring in a number 1 team like Harry Ainley from Alberta. The Alberta teams have made it into the finals and won it a couple times, but traditionally the champion comes from BC. But that being said, we've had a provincial champion come out of the 7th, 8th place game. So even if you're playing the first game on a Saturday, those teams are legitimate provincial contenders.
Is it a big push after Christmas? You come to this tournament, and then it's the push to the playoffs and the run to provincials. Is this kind of the tone setter, the table setter? Do you think?
I think this is the last big test for a lot of these teams coming up here, because you won't probably, until you get into your regional playdowns or your provincial championships, are you going to see this kind of concentration of talented teams where on Thursday you're getting a good game, on Friday you're getting a good game, and on Saturday you're getting a good game. This is a big test for these teams, and coaches love it because it hardens, it toughens their players mentally.
Guys, thanks for doing this. Good job as always. Dave Reynolds, Don Walker, the two co-directors of the Interior Savings Western Canada Basketball Tournament, the 39th edition here at KSS. Thanks for watching.